ready when you are. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, first question, what is HKIS to you?
HKIS is an amazing, dynamic place of learning, and it's a community as well, where students are very involved together, both in and out of class, and in the activities, and in the sports fields, and so on. But they do community things even out into the community here in Hong Kong. And then when you think of beyond our students to the parents are part of a community, and they're here constantly and involved in what's going on in the students' learning and what's going on in the students' activities. And then the parents get involved with each other, and the community circles just continue to expand. So HKIS is a giant community, all focused on learning and serving and being together in fellowship.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How is the community at HKIS?
Yeah, when I was reading that one, so, like, what do you mean by
So,
how
like,
is it?
when you first came to the school, how did people greet you, or how, like, your initial...
Okay. The HKIS community to me has always been one that is very open and embracing. I've only been here for about 18 months, and I still vividly remember the first trips here to Hong Kong to visit HKIS, which was during my interview process. And then after my selection as the head of school to come and introduce myself to the parents and to speak to faculty and parents and alumni. And the community was so embracing, and they used words like, welcome to our community, and we're so glad that you're here to be with us and to be part of us. And it was very clear how strong and open and embracing that community that I was about to join is.
Okay, what comes to mind when you hear HKIS?
When I hear HKIS, when I hear HKIS, just, boy, I have something in my mind. So, okay. Every time I hear the word HKIS mentioned, the reality of this very large but dynamic and fun and multifaceted school with both amazing students that have amazing results and do well in their academic life, but also in all of their activities and their sports and just their social life, all of that comes to mind. But even before I took the job as the head of school for HKIS, I had known of its existence. I've had friends, or at least family relatives of friends, and even a family relative of my own that had worked either here or at schools in the Asia region, and they've told me about HKIS. So I've known about it for probably 25 to 30 years. The image that was put in my mind about this very special school, a one-of-a-kind school, a school that is in the Asia context but is yet completely unlike anything else here, plays out. When I came here and I saw it and I experience it every day, truly this is a gem, a very special place at HKIS.
What has HKIS given you?
HKIS has rewarded me already in just 18 months in so many ways, tangible ways, day in and day out. Through HKIS, I've met many amazing people, and our community being so open and vibrant allows you to just talk and be real with people and hear about their lives and their stories, and to join with them in activities and service and seeking advice and giving advice and so on. So the ability to form relationships is overwhelming here because of the type of community it is. HKIS challenges me as well as a professional every day, and it challenges me in a fun way. It's large and dynamic, so there is always something going on that requires a decision, that requires a meeting, that requires me to do research and learn. So every day I get to learn new things. I get to have conversations that I wouldn't have had if I weren't here. And I get to be involved with other people that stretch me and actually help me grow as a professional, both in my life as an educator and as a leader, but also as a person and as a Christian. And all of these dynamics lets me grow here.
Okay. HKIS is physically defined in Tai Tam and Repulse Bay, but what is your definition of HKIS outside the physical aspect of it?
Well, HKIS is way more than just a couple buildings on a couple plots of land on the beautiful south side of Hong Kong. I mean, HKIS being a community, it means that it's inside of the minds and hearts of people. And there are a lot of people. When we think of our alumni, we think of anybody that's attended HKIS for a year. So that means there are roughly 48 or 49,000 people that have all shared an experience that we call HKIS. And it may have happened at one of the places that we currently have buildings, but the experience, when I talk to former students and alumni, they don't talk about buildings, although they do mention them. They really talk about how beautiful it was, but they always talk about the relationships. They talk about the experiences. They talk about, do you remember the time when? And it's those special moments that this large community that is now flung throughout the world. We believe we have former students and alumni in every major country of the world, and certainly our records show that all major global cities have one or more HKIS former students and alumni living there and working there. So HKIS is actually a global community.
What do you think you'll remember about HKIS the most?
It's an interesting one too. Mm-hmm. Easier for a student or an alum or a teacher. Is this not the last one, right?
Two more.
Two more. Yeah. What's the last one?
What do you think HKIS has to offer other students?
Yeah, and then the last one is the community.
Yeah.
And then this one is what I think. No, this
what
one
you
is
remember. What you think you'll remember about HKIS the most. It doesn't have to be what will you remember or what you think you will remember. It could be either or.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So in like the years to come, what do you think you'll look back on?
Okay. So go ahead and ask it again.
What do you think you'll remember about HKIS the most?
You know, I do hope to be here a very long time. It might be 10 or more years, but as I think forward to someday eventually not being in Hong Kong, I think I'll remember most a couple pieces. I will forever remember Hong Kong and what a special place as a city it is, and as a community that's global, with people from all nationalities mixed together, mingled together, working here, living here, and yet it being a very diverse and Asian, rich, deep cultural city and center. And I'll remember that unique experience of being in a global setting, in a very diverse setting, and yet actually being present, being here at this time. I do believe that the history books are going to write this as being a very important part of the history of Hong Kong. And I think it's going to be fun to tell the stories of being here when important things were happening here in Hong Kong that impacted the world and the future of Hong Kong. I think I'm going to remember, though, also just the people. The many people that have come in and out of my life already in this year, faculty that I've worked with, that I continue to work with, the administrators that I work side by side with, and I'll always remember and cherish those little detail interactions of how they've helped me grow, and they've supported me, or maybe I've supported them, and we've formed relationships, and I don't think I'll ever forget those relationships and the fact that they happened here at HKIS.
Mm-hmm. What do you think HKIS has to offer new students, incoming students, or students who would like to come to the school?
HKIS is a very special kind of school. There are these days thousands of schools that claim to be international schools of one type or another. But Hong Kong International School is, I believe, unique and sets itself apart from the rest in a lot of ways. Especially for schools in Asia, we're a very old school. Now coming into our 50th year and soon to celebrate our 50th anniversary, there's a lot of very rich tradition that goes with HKIS, and we have that to offer for a student, that the permanence, the having been here for a long time and knowing that we're going to be here for a long time to come. And we can offer that to our students. We We can also offer to them then the other distinctivenesses of being HKIS. For instance, a very strong, what we call an American style curriculum that is highly geared and aligned towards individualizing our instruction to students, where students are truly in the center and have a part in taking a lead role in deciding about their learning and pushing their learning forward. And I think that's a special kind of school. And we do it all knowing that many of our students, their goal is to get into college, and most of them still want to go back to the United States of America to go to college. And we've had a great track record at helping students prepare for that and eventually making the transition from here in Hong Kong to the United States or to wherever they go, whether it's to the United Kingdom or to somewhere in Europe. More and more of them choose to stay in Asia at one of the newer emerging universities that are here, and they go to many places throughout the globe, but many of them go to the United States, and we deeply understand that, and we can offer a curriculum that is aligned and carefully constructed to help each individual get where they need to go into the type of school that's going to best fit them and to actually challenge and stretch them in a way that is desirable by them and their family and for their future goals. And I also think that it's the whole community here that we can offer to students. This is known as a happy school, a fun school, and it's a good place to be. I love to hear parents tell me various stories that essentially sound like this. A parent says, I never thought my student would beg to go to school. They want to come back to school in the evening. They want to go to school on the weekend because their friends are here, or they want to interact with a teacher, or they're in an activity. And parents say, my kid loves HKIS. They've never loved any other school like that. And I call that a happy school, and that's a school that I want to be at too. And we can offer that kind of community to any student that comes and is willing to join us in that.
And final question, what has drawn you back to HKIS each day?
Each and every day, I come back to HKIS ready and actually excited to find out what the new day will bring. There's always something going on here. And it might be because I'm new, and after only 18 months or so, I'm still experiencing the newness. But I hear it from other people that every day HKIS is different. The students are doing something new, something dynamic. There's a new project this year that hasn't existed. Seniors have to develop a senior project, and every one of them is different. Professors are updating classes. We do trips we've never done. There's always something new and exciting. And I know that when I come to work as the head of school, I'm going to be involved in those things, and I'll be exposed to them. I may get to just watch them. I may be asked to make decisions. I may be asked to participate, but whatever it is, every day I know that I can't predict in the morning what I'm going to end up dealing with throughout that day, and it's always fun and exciting.